All right, everybody. Hey, it's day 5 of our training. And first and foremost, I appreciate everybody watching and the interaction. I appreciate the likes and everything. And a number of you have messaged me privately, or I've had some conversations with you one-on-one already. And I appreciate the feedback on the content. And I hope that this has been as much fun for you as it has been for me. So today, let's talk about our last concept, and that is testimonials and referrals. So um, these videos really reflect the questions that I get from doctors when I talk to them on the phone or I email with them. And um, one of the big questions, there's really kind of these top 5 questions or these problems that doctors have. And inevitably we wind up talking about, how do I get more referrals? Well, getting referrals can be a couple of different things, right? It can be from fellow doctors, right, who refer your services. It can be from the patients themselves, okay? And really, when I hear, how do I get more referrals, what I hear is, how do I get more raving fans? That's really the question that I'm hearing. Because, in today's environment with regards to insurance, it's going to be pretty hard for other doctors outside of the network to refer you. Um, other doctors that aren't as knowledgeable are going to have some concerns, because this is, a lot of the stuff that we do, anti-aging, regenerative medicine, PRP, stem cell, the type of weight loss that we do, is outside the purview of the traditional insurance-based practice. So that creates a bit of a challenge. And so what I really hear is, how do I get raving fans? That's what I'm hearing, okay? And so today I want to talk specifically about that, okay? So what I have here is, this is what I call, whoops, let me just erase that. What I have is, I have what's called the roadmap, or I'm sorry, the patient journey map, not the roadmap, the patient journey map. And this is another way to look at the stairway. And you'll see here that we have the beachhead, right? We have the educate and engage, the excite portion of it, where they inquire, where they're excited. And then we convert, which is basically our core offer, okay? But I'm going to show you kind of the layer underneath that, and that is, how do you get testimonials, raving fans, and referrals, okay? So what I want you to do is, I want you to take a look at, I'll use orange. I want you to take a look at this process. So they come in, right? They come in via the beachhead. They came in, they're aware of what you do, you've educated, you've engaged with them, they inquire, they're excited to see you, you bring them into the office, and they convert. So you'll see that they've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minimum of 5 steps to get to you before they are asked to buy. And every single one of these steps are designed to get them what is called a mini yes, okay? There's a concept in influence. A great book that you should read is Robert Cialdini's Influence. In fact, I actually had him speak at one of my events years ago. I actually have the audio, and I'll show you how you can. I'll actually get those audios to you. I'll explain that towards the end of the call, what I can make those available to some of you. Okay, so one of his concepts, there's 6 forms of influence. Okay, so there's reciprocity, authority, commitment and consistency, liking, social proof. Okay, forget, there's one other in there I think I missed. Anyway, the one that is important is commitment and consistency. And commitment and consistency basically means this, is that along the way, what you want is, you want them to take another step towards you. You don't really take a step towards them until they take a step towards you. Okay, most sales is about chasing, right? I don't believe in that kind of selling. I believe in the type of selling that is, the prospect moves towards me first. The prospect has to show interest in me before I will start to really start to engage with them. Okay, so this is a bigger concept that I can explain at a later date, but that's the basic concept. So this is what we call commitment, okay, and consistency. Okay, sorry, my handwriting's a little funky today. My pen's a little off. Okay, so we're going to erase some of this. Okay, so what we're doing is we're creating all these yeses along the way. Okay, and what we're doing, isn't that cool? So what we're doing is we are getting them each step of the way. They say yes here. They say yes by consuming information here. Oops. They say yes here. When they pick up the phone, they're saying yes. They get excited, they're saying yes. And then they say yes in here. Now, at this stage of the game, most doctors just do the procedure, and what they do is they wave bye-bye. Okay? So what happens is you do the procedure and you say, call me with any questions. When it's at this step right here, it's the post-procedure process that is going to create your testimonials and referrals. Okay, let me say that again. It's your post-procedure process that will create your testimonials, referrals, and raving fans. Most doctors think, oh, if I get Bob's knee to feel better, he's naturally going to refer me. No, Bob's going to forget about you. Bob may tell a couple of friends, they'll have some more questions, and that'll be really it. Okay, so this process of getting testimonials and referrals, it's a system, okay? So what you do, again, I know I'm drawing on this a lot, okay? But I really want to make sure you get this concept. So what happens is after this perfect procedure, what you need to do is you need to re-engage with the patient. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can, give a follow-up phone call. Most doctors might do like a follow-up text. I mean, look, you've got to decide what level of follow-up are you willing to commit to. And I want you to kind of relate this back to dating, right? Like if you go out on a date with a member, with someone that you like or you care about, and you just send them a text back, well, they're probably not going to be as engaged. Um, if you send them a handwritten letter, they're going to be a little bit more engaged. If you schedule a time to meet again and they say yes, they're going to be really engaged. Okay, so the perfect procedure shouldn't just be about the actual physicalness of the procedure, the technical side of it. I'm assuming you are running in a clean shop. I'm assuming you're doing all the things to make sure somebody doesn't get an infection. I'm assuming you're doing all the things that are requirements of OSHA or the medical board or the pharmacy board or whatever, right? I'm assuming all of that's the case. Okay. Um, so the perfect procedure is not just the technical side of it, but it's also what happens after. Okay. And this is where the testimonial machine plays in. Okay. One of the best things that you can do is to get people to not just type a review on Google, because by the way, here's an interesting statistic for you. Something like I'm not. I'm probably off by a couple percentage points, but approximately 30% of people who read reviews on Google think that most of them are false. Okay. There are testimonial farms in Bangladesh and India and Mexico and things like that that you can actually hire to post a bunch of 5-star reviews, right? And quite frankly, if I go to a business and I see that they have 1,000 reviews and they have 5 stars, I know that they have used um, I know that they've used a testimonial farm. Remember the ad back in the day that was, 4 out of 5 dentists recommend sugarless gum for their patients that chew gum? I always wanted to talk to that 5th dentist, but it was a lot more believable than saying 5 out of 5. So you really, quite frankly, in Google reviews, 4 is fine. 5, there's a whole concept with this, but basically, Google reviews are one thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about getting videos of people or written testimonials of people that are absolutely thrilled. Okay. So that's where this testimonial machine comes in. So let me go over here. Okay, so let me just tell you why this testimonial machine is critical. One, it creates a concept of social proof. Okay, so social proof is exactly that. In today's day and age, people want proof, and they don't want to hear about how great you are. They want to have other people talk about how great you are. Okay, but social proof is one of the key components of Cialdini's influence, and it can be developed a couple of different ways. It can be testimonials. Okay, it can be it can be your accreditation, right? But in today's day and age, the testimonials are going to be more important. You know, it can be letters or texts, right? Or reviews, okay? Okay, so those are the ways that we can develop all of that, right? So the thing is that we want to create social proof, and I'm going to show you an easy way to get video testimonials here in a second. It also is going to position you as an authority. Whoops. It's also going to position you as an authority. It creates context. So if you've ever seen my video on Patients Every Day, a big shout out to Kevin Hutto, who calls it Clients Every Day. I completely and totally ripped him off. But I just renamed it Patients Every Day. He talks about, and you can go on YouTube and you can watch Patients Every Day. The concept's really simple. I mean, it's exactly that. So we want to create context, and it's the third most important thing that we do, and that's so that we can build up credibility, character, and connection, okay? And you're going to create connection a lot of different ways, but one of the best ways for you to create connection is through other people, okay? So we create connection via other people talking about how great you are, all right? So let's go back to the testimonial machine, okay? So what happens is they come in for the procedure, and what we want to do is we want to have some kind of process to bring them back in, okay? I recommend like 3 weeks, but in that, using our testimonial machine, I have a specific process laid out where basically you can get all the testimonials you need by asking a couple of questions and using your iPhone or Android, okay? And one of the best I've ever seen do this is Dr. At Lurie, who is at STEM Cures. I've known Dr. At Lurie for a couple of years. Great doctor, wonderful guy. If you follow him on LinkedIn or I think Facebook, you'll see how he does it. He basically brings people back in and he records video testimonials, okay? And what you do is you utilize those to create more excitement so that you can convert more people, okay? So if you think about this, if you're doing 2 procedures a week, within 2 months, if you are getting half of those people coming back in, you should have 4 testimonials, okay? Which these testimonials, what they do is this testimonial machine comes back up here and it educates and excites people and engages them to inquire, and they get more excited, and then they convert because they've seen the testimonials, okay? So let me just erase some of this right here because there's one last thing about the testimonial machine I want you to get, okay? All right. Last part about the testimonial machine is you see this little arrow right here? When you are bringing people back in and they are giving you a testimonial, that is the ultimate time to then upsell them into something else, okay? They are happy, they are no longer in pain, or they have more energy, or they're able to have sex, or no more vaginal dryness, or no more bladder leakage, whatever it is. Usually in the 3 to 4 week period, they're going to see some pretty positive results. This is where you can convert them into get another bite of the apple. And the patient that buys at least 2 things from you is going to be infinitely more likely to continue to buy from you for the next 7 years. So converting that patient into something else right then and there, obviously something that they need, not something that you're just going to sell them, is going to really make a big positive impact on the practice, okay? So a couple of last thoughts on this that I want you to understand. Let's talk about Google reviews a little bit more. Google reviews are not something to be dismissed. They are important. Society does view them as important, but I want you to understand 4 stars is greater than 5, meaning your overall total score, okay? How you respond to the trolls matters. Okay. Don't engage, always I'm sorry, right? There's a whole process that you do with that, because how you actually handle the troll is going to help your ideal client identify with you. You don't really care about the trolls. You're going to have them. There's nothing you can do about them. Okay. You're going to bust your ass. You're going to have people that you do a great job for, and they're going to be jerks about it. Okay. That's just the way the world is today. Okay. Same thing with health grades, same thing with Yelp reviews, all of that. But the most important thing is control your narrative. Okay. Control your narrative by creating your own YouTube or videos or posting letters. Okay. So I'll give you an example of this, and I'll leave you with this. All of this was developed, this process of how to handle this, in the ED clinics. So think about this. Guys get their sense of worth a couple of ways: by the money that they make and the love that they make. So I couldn't fix number one, but I certainly could fix number two. So these were men that usually had a failure cycle of at least 2 years. They had tried pills, potions, bumps, and porn to fix their ED, and nothing worked, and then they came to see us. So we dealt with like the toughest of the toughest cases, okay? And so what we did was we used Trimix, and we injected into the corpus cavernosa, the soft spongy tissue of the penis. We gave them an injection in the office, and that's how we got them an erection in the office. So we could get, we used to joke we could get a dead man an erection, right? Probably couldn't because there was no blood circulation, but anyway, hopefully you understand what I mean. So, we had patients that came in that hadn't had erections for 5 years, 10 years. We had paraplegics come in. We did some really cool and amazing stuff. But the downside was that the worse your problem, the hotter dose we had to give you, and there could be some stinging and burning. Plus, if you hadn't had an erection for a couple of years, there was always a lot of stretching and pulling, right? The tissue hadn't been stretched and pulled, so there was a lot of other things that were going on, okay? So we literally had a success rate of 92% on the first visit, right? We literally we were putting 35 patients per clinic per week into treatment, okay? We had couples come in crying. We had, people that were able to, have sex again, and they were having great sex and all of this, right? But yet our Google reviews were like 2. Well, the reason why was this. One, we could never get people to go online and post what a great experience they had. Why? Guys aren't going to go out and say, hey, I had ED, and post to the world, because it's going to show their name. Well, their friends are going to give them grief about it. So guys are pretty resistant to do that. So what we did was we created our own testimonials, and we started doing, first we hired a professional company, and then what we did is we just started doing it in office, and we actually had a better time. We found that 1 or 2 videos, positive videos, outweighed all the negative reviews, okay? So there is power in the video. So you can actually combat all the negative reviews that you have to make sure that you get, or if you have negative reviews, just by utilizing video and controlling the narrative, okay? And so, you can put this on social, you can put it in follow-up sequences before people come in. Okay. I have one doctor that puts everything into follow-up sequences. So there's all kinds of ways that you can utilize this. All right. So the bottom line that I want you to get from this in our video here, and then I'm going to tell you how you can engage with me here in just a minute, is don't just end with the procedure. Make sure that you're bringing them back in, get some form of a testimonial. Because once you do that, then you're going to create this really big circle of never-ending flow of patients who are spending money with you. And it's really becomes this amazing machine. So before we go, I want to share a couple of things with you. I'm actually going to be putting a video out in a day and a half or 2 days. Many of you have asked if you could work directly with me. And so I'm going to put a video up that's going to explain how you can work directly with me. Couple of key things is you are going to get the details of all of these trainings. I have scripts and things of that nature. I'll lay that out in about a day and a half. I'll have that up probably not tomorrow, but the next day. I'll release it in the morning. I'll post something. But I am looking for, I've already had a couple of doctors reach out to me. They've already signed up. I'll go over the cost and commitment and everything, but I am looking for 6 more. I have 6 right now that have signed up. I'm looking for 6 more. I want to have a group of 12 that I work with over the next year for you to scale to 7 figures and beyond. Most of you that I talk to are doing $25,000 to $50,000 a month. And if you have an insurance-based practice or you want to add a cash component to it, you're doing a little bit of cash, or if you're just starting from scratch, I can help you. Okay, so I'll be putting that up. If you are interested and you would like a early preview or set up an early call or something like that, just type interested in the comment sections below. Okay, this is kind of a small group, so but just type interested in the comment sections below and I can engage with you, and we can, if you'd like to talk before that, I'm more than happy to set up a time and talk. I talk to doctors early in the morning, late at night. I'm used to it. Okay. So that's it. Be on the lookout. I'm going to send up this, I'm going to put up some bonus videos for you over the next couple of days up until February 10th. So check those out. And again, if you would like to work with me one-on-one over the next year to scale up to 7 figures a year, type the word interested below and we will set up a time to talk. Thanks. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.